Hi, my name is Sean, and I'm a rising sophomore at Mamaroneck High School. For my starter project, I made the electronic dice kit. Basically, if you drop it, it'll create a little number that displays like a normal die from 1 to 6. The way this works is, the battery sends a current to the PCB, allowing the piezo, which is a pressure sensor that uses the piezoelectric effect, to send a message back to the PCB. The piezoelectric effect is basically an electric response to pressure, in this case the dropping of the die. So then the piezo sensor sends the message to the PCB, which is essentially a base for all your components to go on that connects them together. In order to connect a component to the PCB, you solder one of the leads, or rather the leads generally, to the exposed pads, and the solder acts as an adhesive and an electric current. So then the current moves to the microcontroller, which receives it as a value that gets translated to a number from 1 to 6. Now the microcontroller is essentially a tiny computer that controls all the other components on the PCB. This specific microcontroller can also enter sleep mode, and those are one of the two different currents it sends to the LEDs. So after the microcontroller receives the current, it then sends it through the diodes and the resistors. Now the diode allows the current to only flow in one direction, and the resistors ebb the flow so that it goes a little slower. Then the current reaches the LEDs, and they light up in whatever message they were received, or they turn off if they're going into sleep mode. Now what's cool about the sleep mode is that it's activated on a timer, but that timer resets every time you drop the die. That way it won't turn off while you're using it. Overall, I feel like I learned better soldering from this kit, and also making sure I had the specific parts going in the same places, because the different resistors had to go in specific spots, and I had to make sure I put them in the right ones. I had a lot of fun with this project, and I'm glad I was able to complete it.